Final Fantasy 14, as we all know, the game is in a little bit of a struggle session. And things just seem to not get easier for them. Where apparently, according to recent reports, and I think some of you guys in the chat have even said this as well, Final Fantasy 14's North American servers, which it goes to show, right, that this is probably a little bit I don't want to say it's like a targeted hit where it's somebody who's clearly unhappy or whatever. Because the Japanese don't do this shit. They don't like doing this shit. Final Fantasy 14's North American servers continue to struggle with DDoS attacks, likely due to a service provider's wonky nodes. Some players report that a VPN has helped, but it's still pretty much grim. Now, the sad thing is that they just came out with their patch where they released a brand new Savage Raid. If you guys don't know what their Savage Raids are, it's basically their hardest raids for whatever the patch may be at the time. So they have their Savage Raids, and nobody could do them. Nobody could play them on the North American servers because of the DDoS attacks. Now, Final Fantasy has been attacked with DDoS in the past. This is nothing new, but right during a patch release, that fucking sucks for a lot of people. What does DDoS stand for? I believe it's distributive denial of service, but I could be wrong. I know it's denial of service, but I don't know if it's the first word is distributive or something. I could be wrong. Or distributed, whatever. I could be wrong. Anyway, Final Fantasy 14's North American servers have been hammered by DDoS attacks since the release of patch 7.4, which has players starting to grind their teeth in frustration, especially given the release of the latest Savage Raid tier and the race to world first that I don't know how to say that word. Wheels it? I have no idea. Hold on. The struggle session is real. So like I said, it seems to be a thing that only ever affects the North American servers. It very rarely ever affects the Japanese servers. And it goes to show where the difference in culture actually lies. Take a look at the game's official status page, and you'll see notice after notice detailing recoveries from DDoS attacks, most of which kicked off in September. This has been going on since September. Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. This has been going on since September, primarily affecting North American data centers. On a personal note, most of my gaming sessions as someone who plays one of these things have been interrupted by DDoS error at some point. There's also an X account that tracks them, cataloging them via a website. In a separate thread. Oh, hold on. At the time of writing, you'll see a legion of players that are quite rightly miffed. Exactly when do we get pissed about this constantly happening? Writes one player. We have been. It doesn't seem to help, replies another. Jinx Hand in chat says it's been longer than that. Holy fuck, bro. I'm not trying to be an alarmist, but I've only been playing for 4 hours tonight, and I've been DDoS off of Crystal 5 times. I'm not threatening to unsub, but I do expect better than this from Square Enix, because getting booted mid-content is absolutely a complete downer. Can you imagine if you were in the middle of a raid and you're about to make some serious progress on a boss only for you to get fucking booted because of the DDoS attacks? That sucks, bro. What's this? No way to prevent this. Says only game where this regularly happens. Yo, that's fucking hilarious. Players aren't particularly charmed on its official forums. There is now a 33-page thread is flooded with complaints. It doesn't help that there are a ton of activities in Final Fantasy 14 where a disconnect will scupper the whole thing. Expensive crafting recipes have been killed neck and neck in rages with the new endgame raid bosses. Failed. And I am not kidding. This is a serious issue. Windows to catch ultra rare fish completely missed. Yeah, bro. At this point, oh, Zelda's bringing up a good point. Hold on, wait a second. I know this might be conspiratorial, but hear me out. Tinfoil hat. Imagine if this was all purposely targeted to prevent North America from getting world first. Man, that is some conspiratorial shit, my guy. But that is not out of the realm. That is not out of the realm. Especially if it's only affecting the North American servers. That is not out of the realm. You know? But here's what I will say. Hold on, sorry, I got to cough again. Here's what I will say. if this has been going on since even before September, you have a major problem on your hands. And there is no amount of excuses that are going to be allowed by players after that long. You're talking about a game that people play. I'm sorry, that people pay to play, right? This is not a game that you buy one time and then that's it, or it's not a free to play game. This is a game that people pay to play. They pay a subscription monthly to play this game. So a denial of service like this is essentially taking money away from them. And it's a big fucking problem. What's a world first? So a world first is like whenever they release new content, usually like a raid or whatever, everybody's always keeping track of who is the first, in this case, who is the first free company or who was the first link shell to down a boss on the hardest difficulty. That's what it is. So everybody's chasing world firsts and they're putting in the time and the effort to be the first people to take the boss down, right? That's basically bragging rights. Yeah, Final Fantasy 14, Tiger King. It's basically bragging rights. Now, in World of Warcraft, I don't know if they do this anymore, but back when I was a hardcore raider, they had world first achievements. They were only achievable by one particular group of people. And once they achieved it, nobody else was able to get it, you know? So, like, for example, when I was a hardcore raider in Wrath of the Lich King, I ended up getting server first, not world first, but like server first for like Yogg Saron, Zero Keeper, right? If anybody knows what I'm talking about, if you've played World of Warcraft, Yogg Saron, Zero Keeper. There was a whole bunch of like world first achievements you were able to get at the time. And I'm sorry, not world first, server first. And once you got them, like that was it. I also got server first for whatever the level cap was for Shaman at the time. I got server first, Drain Eye Shaman to max level during Wrath of the Lich King. So that was pretty cool. But that's I don't know if Final Fantasy does that. I don't think they do. I'm pretty sure they don't. I'm pretty sure it's just bragging rights to be like, you're the first one to do it online, and that's basically it. So Destiny has it too. Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, it's very sus that it's only North America. Very sus. Very, very sus. So at the end of the day, again, guys, people pay to play this game. So if people are paying to play this game and they are being denied service for months on end because of a DDoS attack that you don't have the ability to stop, I think you should refund them. I think you should give them some form of compensation. I know it sounds, it might sound petty, but realistically, I think you should. I think there should be some real compensation from Square Enix for not having control over their servers. Because again, if and it really, yeah, I know they won't. I'm just saying, I know they won't. Like, I'm just saying, like, that's what they should do, but I know they won't. And it really does sour the experience, because the thing is, like, those hardcore players, the people that are going for the world first, the people that are trying to be the first ones to take down these bosses, those are the ones that drive community. I don't know if they realize this, but a lot of the people, when they're looking up strategy guides and they're looking up ways to take down raid bosses in certain MMORPGs, do you know where they're getting those strategies from? You know where they're getting those? They're getting those strategies from the raiders that did it before them. They're getting those strategies from the people that uploaded world first videos. You know what I mean? Like, where do you think they get their strategies from? Not everybody's learning on their own. Most of the people, they just want to look up a video to see how to kill the boss, and then they try to do it on their own. So these hardcore raiders, they really drive the community. They really do. They may not be like the majority in terms of numbers, but they definitely help the community overall when it comes to taking down these harder bosses, because they're some of the first ones to do it. So why are they targeting NA? I don't know. Again, you could have like a conspiracy thinking like maybe it's a Japanese doing it. Who knows? I don't think so. I just think there's some other fuckery going on. I think there's somebody out there that wants to ruin the fun for people. I don't know. But yeah, I know Square Enix is not going to do anything. But they really should. They really should at this point, because if it's going on way too long. I didn't realize it was going on this long. I haven't been playing the game, so I had no idea.